Okay, this is video number 4 of the Littmann 3100 series electronic stethoscope in black. Video number 1 covered the unboxing of this lovely device and what's inside the box and a brief introduction to the menu system. And video number 2 and 3 covered the manual in English only. I did not cover the other part, which is all the other languages. Finally, video 4 is the stethoscope. The stethoscope itself is very light. It's maybe lighter than my other stethoscope. Nah, it's the same weight. I use a Littmann SE lightweight edition stethoscope with the weird triangle-shaped diaphragm. Actually, I have it here, so I can get it for you. No, I lied. It's not here, it's in my car. But, yeah, so this is exactly the same weight. The head is maybe double the weight. But since this part up here seems to be a thinner material, or not, I can't tell. You know what? It's a little tiny bit heavier than my other Littmann. But it's probably the same weight as the regular stethoscopes people use that are not lightweight editions, because my Littmann is the lightweight edition, and I believe the shell of my Littmann in my car, the lightweight SE edition, is, I think it's like a plastic material up here. And other stethoscopes are metal up here, if I'm correct. So this might be the same weight as any stethoscope. Anyway, this is super lightweight up here. This is standard rubber. It's thicker because I'm guessing it makes the connection here not look weird, because if you have a thick portion here going to a standard size thin tube, it's going to look strange. Also, it prevents the person from really kinking it up too much, which would cause a tear or bending or ripping of the wires that go through here, which go to the speakers here. So it seems to be an added protection. I'm not going to open it up, but I could probably guess that the wiring inside of this tube is covered with a fabric or high toughness nylon sheath, which stops it from being bent in certain directions and from being knotted. And therefore, you need a thicker tube. And this thicker tube seems like it prevents you completely. It prevents you completely from putting it into a knot. And even if you did, you won't be able to tie the knot too tight, which would cause the metal in the wiring to actually snap, like a tab on a soda can. Eventually, over time, it pops off. So that helps prevent that from happening. And also, it looks better having a thicker tube coming off of this thick head here, so it doesn't look weird when you're using it. These are metal. Inside of here, I can't see, but we have little speakers in here, I'm guessing, in each top piece. And the fit is just like any other stethoscope by Littmann. And I'm going to put it on my heart and let's see what happens. There's no battery in it, okay? It's off. But what happens when I put it on my heart? Let's find out. Okay, not much happened. So it looks like you can't use it. Looks like you can't use it by itself. It looks like you have to use it with power on. So if your battery dies, you better have a backup. So the backup should be on the nurse or doctor standing next to you, or in your medical bag, or briefcase, or car, or spare drawer, or locker, or etc. somewhere that you can get to another stethoscope that you can use for the rest of the day if you don't have another battery on hand. Now, I would just keep a spare stethoscope in my bag And also keep a couple spare batteries in my bag too. Let's see here. This seems not to be wide enough in order to have one of those fancy plastic Littmann plastic ID tags here, the wider ones, which is unfortunate. So you still should definitely get this engraved. What part would I engrave? I would definitely engrave the headpiece here and also the bottom piece here, somewhere on the metal. Looks like there's a pretty good foundation here to put it on, or maybe they could put it here on this flat piece. It's kind of triangular shaped, this piece here that I'm holding. It's triangular shaped, but also it's rounded here for a style all the way around. So if someone steals this, theoretically they could take off the serial number here, put on regular stethoscope metal pieces in here, and put the speaker and wire in through the earpieces, and now they have a perfectly nice functioning electronic stethoscope, but with aftermarket or customized stethoscope pieces here, and it would look exactly the same as this one and function exactly the same as this one. But if you have a serial number here engraved and a serial number here engraved, which we have, and have your name engraved here and have your name engraved here, then it's less opportunity for them to fuddle with it and have a nice working stethoscope, because it's more to modify. And a couple seconds ago I said serial number. I meant to say you put your name on here, because serial number means nothing. Put your name on here, name on here. Go to your mall, look for an engraving store, someplace that engraves fine gifts, and they should do it at a reasonable price. And again, you are spending a couple dollars more, but it's to protect your equipment from being stolen or lost. So, there is a piece of plastic covering the menu system here and the LCD screen. I'm going to leave this plastic on here for now, and when it falls off by itself, then that's when I'll take it off. But I like it because it protects the LCD screen and buttons from maybe drops of water. So I'm going to leave that on there. On the side it says AA. It has the direction of which way the battery goes in. It has a picture of a lock to show you when it's locked, and it has a picture of an unlocked lock to show you when it's unlocked. It says model 3100. It's not recyclable. I'm sorry, you can't throw this out, so don't throw it out. You have to specially get rid of it or whatever, so it doesn't destroy the environment. It has a serial number. It has a little picture of a man. It has an IPX4. It has a picture of a book with an I, and it says CE0086. And those all mean certain things, which you can locate in your manual here. Primarily, the man. I'll tell you. The man means it indicates Type B equipment. The equipment provides protection against electrical shock and electrical current leakage. Applied parts are considered to be the complete chest piece with diaphragm and binaural. The other emblem on this thing says, attention, see instructions on how to use it. The next thing on this means protected against splashing in liquid. The chest piece only. IPX4. Has a trash can with an X on it, which means this product contains electrical and electronic components, which probably contain mercury, so you have to go to a local directives consultant to figure out how to dispose of it correctly. Same way you get rid of your computers when you're done with them. Don't throw them out in the trash. You throw them out. You have to go to your local landfill or whatever, and they get rid of it for you, and you got to pay to get rid of it. Couple dollars. It's latex free, both the packaging and the product. And let's see, the final symbol indicates category AP equipment. AP tested for use with flammable anesthetic mixture with air. So it seems to not be flammable or something like that, or it doesn't cause things to blow up that are flammable around it. This rubber piece here comes off. I'm not going to take it off completely. Underneath there is a couple Allen screws, about 4 of them, and there's a centerpiece That's metal. That seems to be the receiver to receive these beautiful lung and heart sounds with a piece of, there seems to be a white plastic sticker that's stuck over it to protect the equipment. And let's put this back on because these are pain in the butt to take on and off. Actually, no, that one comes off and on pretty easily. And now it's on. The menu has an LCD screen here, has a plus and minus symbol, has a picture of a stethoscope head and diaphragm that you press to cycle through diaphragm or stethoscope or bell mode. And it has an M for menu to change the default configuration, so when you power it on, it automatically goes into a specific mode. It also has different power saving functions that you can set it to as default, so it can save the battery and not drive you nuts and constantly shut off and go into standby mode when you're using it. It has low, medium, and high for backlight, and low, medium, and high for how long it stays on for until it goes in standby mode. Standby mode is a couple of minutes to 30 minutes to a couple hours, which means it goes in standby mode, which is like a sleep or hibernation mode, and not a full sleep and off power mode, because then it would constantly have to reboot again every time you want to use it. So standby mode is awesome. It allows you to quickly press power and bam and listen. It also can have different timings before it goes into standby mode, which is in the menu, so it doesn't turn off on you constantly when you're listening to someone's lungs for over 30 seconds or listen to a heart for more than 2 seconds, whatever. I covered that in video number 2 and 3. And it has a power button here. And the backlight stays lit for X amount of time before it turns off. Alright, so let's open this up here. I'm going to turn it to unlock. And it opens up. There are a couple golden pins here. These pins are contacts. It looks like pins of a cell phone battery. And they contact on this end with 3 little golden circles here. And they send the signals up to your earphones. You have a positive, and then a common ground. So you have left earpiece, right earpiece, and then the center one is the negative as a common ground for both earpieces. So that's your electronics tutorial for today. And then we have the center piece up here, which is for the battery contact, and there's another battery contact in there. The way the battery goes in, as I said in video 1, it comes with an industrial Energizer battery. So I'm going to pop it in the direction it has on the side with the pointy thing sticking up. I'm going to align the 2 hours here, and then I'm going to spin it so it's locked. And it clicks a little tiny bit to tell you it's locked. Nothing happened on the LCD screen. Let's press power and find out what happens. It lights up, LCD screen. It has battery level full, like a cell phone. Automatically, the auscultation level is at a level of 3. Has 3 bars. I can raise it or lower it with a plus and minus symbol. The heartbeat, it has 2 dashes because it's not on my heart. And the stethoscopes, the picture of the little stethoscope here is on diaphragm mode rather than bell. Let's get a good picture of that. And you can see this online as well. And you can't see it, oh well, but you can see pictures of the LCD screen online. So, let's put it on my wrist and see what happens. Will the heart rate go up or down? How sensitive is it? Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Let's put it on my heart and see what happens. And nothing's happening. Let me put it on and see how well the sounds sound. Oh, that sounds beautiful. That sounds beautiful. It sounds nice, loud, and it sounds nice and clear. It's really amazing, to be honest. The the default volume seems to be the same volume that you would hear on a non-electric stethoscope. So 3 lines on the volume seems to be the same as you would hear on a analog regular stethoscope. Now let's turn it up and see how well this thing allows me to hear a heart. Here we go. All right. This sounds beautiful. Okay, so it works really well. It works really well. It's really, really cool. Really cool. I mean, really freaking cool. When you're using it, it has a large, wide area here, which is great. So you put your fingers on it like this. Let me turn it off to save my battery. Nope, that didn't turn it off. That just lit up the screen brighter. Let me hold it down. Yep, it powered off. So when you use it, like any stethoscope, you want to put it on and not move your fingers, because if you move your fingers, you will hear your fingers. If you tap, you will hear the tapping. If you talk to yourself while using it, you will hear yourself talk. It really, really amplifies everything, and I highly recommend it, and I barely even used it. Now, could my mind change? Sure, I might realize that it has some faults. I might realize it has some super awesome pros that I don't know about right now. But from all the reviews I read, the 3000 series sucks. I mean, it's good on 80 out of 100%. But this guy here was redesigned to reduce ambient noise around you. It filters out the ambient noise around you, and it also apparently makes the sounds sound more realistic. Which is great because it doesn't change the amplification, or it doesn't change the tone of the sound. So therefore, you're hearing what you should be hearing, and this sounds awesome. So if you have the money, get one. Actually, I think every nurse and doctor should have one to provide a higher level of care to their patients. So, wow, I can't really say much more about it. Let me turn it on. Boots up really fast, and it's live already. Press the up key, turns the volume up. Turn minus key down, it turns the volume down. Something I just noticed is if I put the volume up or down and turn it off, the next time I turn it on, the volume goes back to default. So you can set up a default in the menu, so whenever you turn it on, it's preset to how you like it. So I'm going to turn it back on, and the volume's at 3 again. Okay, so it did not remember anything, because I did not set it up yet. Press the stethoscope button once, it goes in the bell, again, diaphragm. If I hold it down, nothing. I thought this had dual mode. I thought this had a mode where it used the diaphragm and bell at the same time to get a wider frequency range. Maybe that's inside of the menus, I don't know. Or that's a totally different stethoscope company. This button is indented here. the primary button, and the menu button has a dimple on it, so you can find it when you're in the dark or not using your eyes. So if you put your thumb on it, immediately you know that the dimple's on the right, so the menu must be on the right, and up must be volume up, and down must be volume down, and left must be bell to diaphragm, diaphragm to bell. Pressing the power button just makes the LCD screen get brighter. Press it again, nothing. Press it again, nothing. If you hold it down, you see the Littmann emblem, logo, and it turns off. Press M once. You can go into power mode, go into power settings, battery settings, volume settings, filter settings, backlight settings, auto off settings, the ID serial number, and exit the menu. And that's it. And they're pretty simplistic. I cover them in video 2 and 3. So that ends this video, and I hope it was beneficial for you before you go ahead and purchase one of these guys. It's a big investment, but it has a 2-year warranty on it by Littmann on any manufacturer defects, and if you drop it, it's your fault. Don't drop it. Get your name engraved everywhere on this thing. Get your name engraved. Put your phone number, not your phone number, because sometimes your cell phone number changes, but get your name engraved on it, first, middle, and last, because if it gets lost or stolen, you know who took it, or someone can return it to you in a hospital if it's laying around. The final thing, let's put it on my neck to see if it falls off, because we don't want these falling off. Now, as a doctor, they wear a suit and tie, which maybe the collar would stop it from falling off. But nurses, we have scrubs, and scrubs don't have much friction. But as you can see, it feels just like a regular stethoscope, and it's not falling off. Now, if I bend over, wiggle around, it's not falling off. Some people are complaining that other stethoscope companies, they're too heavy here, and it falls off their head. It falls off their neck. This is not moving. It has the same weight. This is a little tiny bit heavier here. It has the same weight as a regular stethoscope, so it's not going to fall off. How often does your stethoscope fall off anyway? Besides, we're constantly adjusting them to make sure they're not falling off. And if it starts to fall off, you realize that this is up around your neck, and you know it's there. It happened to you a million times it had to. And you go, hey, let's fix that. And how often does this happen? Rarely, never. And right here feels great, actually. You might have to wear it with the head a little bit higher than normal to have a more equilateral weight distribution, or not, maybe normal. But I'll figure it out after use it. I mean, I just unboxed this thing. Yeah, it feels great. It feels just like a regular stethoscope. I wear mine on this side. So take it off, pop it on, and I'm going to pretend I'm going to hit the power button here. Power. Ready. It beeps. It beeps right before it's ready. It goes beep, beep. As soon as it goes beep, beep, bam, you know that it's listening. This thing's awesome. Get one. I highly recommend it. They range from $400 to $500, depending if you get a deal. I got mine for $450. Free shipping. I bought it from the internet, and there was no service plans I could buy for it. Usually with electronics, you can buy a service plan with it to protect it for more years past the manufacturer's warranty. But with this guy, nope. Besides, 2 years from now, after this thing's out of warranty, I'm sure it will still work. I'm sure it'll work for 10 years. Don't drop it. Don't get it wet. Treat it with care. It will take care of you. And besides, if it does break 2 years from now, you make enough money, hopefully, that you can buy a new one. So don't worry about it. You should be providing a higher level of care to your patients whenever possible, because they deserve it. Plus, it really helps out your life. I mean, wow, the sounds it allows you to hear are amazing. I totally recommend this. And yeah, so that's that. And I hope this was a great video. Well, the videos 1, 2, 3, and this one 4 for you to decide if you want one of these guys. And I recommend you get one. So that's that. And if you have any questions, please post them, and I'll be sure to answer them if I can, with my level of ignorance or knowledge. And that's that. Any comments, let me know. Any questions, let me know. And that's about it. So have a great day.